Workers at Pudong International Airport in Shanghai are said their well contaminated with C-19 on November 20. And just 2 days later, on the 22nd, all the facilities at Pudong Airport were blocked. All passengers at Pudong Airport were prevented from leaving the parking lot together, and only those who had been tested for nucleic acid overnight were allowed to return home. But people tried to fight back and tried to escape through a parking lot at Pudong Airport in Shanghai when authorities tried to detain them on the premises for the C-19 tests. The mass attack broke the authorities' first line of defense, as well as the second line of the defense. People who had fled Pudong Airport were also filmed prior to the inspection. The authorities have been unable to control the crowd, but the media in China have reported it differently. On the 23rd, a Chinese media, Global Times, posted a video showing a quiet, airy terminal. They showed their confidence in the airport's C-19 control measures, despite the chaos the night before. However, contrary to the announcement by the Chinese authorities that everything was completely controlled, all flights to Pudong Airport in Shanghai were cancelled the next day. The Washington Post also reported that hundreds of flights to the airport were cancelled on Monday, according to the flight tracking app Umatrip. In a press conference on November 23rd, Shanghai Airport Authority Vice President Zhao Junlong announced that 17,719 workers had been tested from 9:30 a.m. 11,544 tests had already been negative, and the remaining samples were still being processed. The officials did not say anything about whether the workers were allowed to go home or whether they were quarantined. And then this is the latest report by the Xinhua News Agency. Authorities tested 17,719 people at Pudong Airport on the 22nd and found that a 36-year-old man named Zhang was considered infected on the morning of the 23rd. His residential area in Pudong New Area has been classified as a medium-risk area. However, no more reports have come about Pudong Airport since then. Nobody knows what reality is it. Nothing has changed about the fact that the truth was concealed. The Chinese authorities also carried out inspections in areas around the Pudong Airport. From November 20, the regional blockade of the Pudong New District began, and nucleic acid tests were carried out. In addition, the entire Mingtin Huachen apartment complex was blocked, and Shanghai South Railway Station, where the train and metro stations are located, was also briefly closed on the 22nd. Causing confusion among citizens about the instructions the authorities to have a nucleic acid test. There was also an infection in Tianjin, more than 1,100 kilometers from Shanghai. Following the discovery of 5 C-19 cases in Tianjin, a coastal metropolis in northeast China, local authorities ordered the mass test on November 20th on residents of the city's new Binhai area, around 3 million people. Authorities also closed the city of Manchuria, Inner Mongolia, after the 2 C-19 cases were discovered on November 21st. The next day, measures were taken to suspend trains and flights and to close roads and schools. It is known that 194 city workers investigated and isolated close contacts of the infected people. The number of C-19 patients worldwide is now over 60 million, and the number of infections is expected to skyrocket this winter. China has reported 86,000 infections in China so far. Numbers don't lie, but that number can be manipulated. All the time, appreciate your like and comments. Thanks for watching. Be safe.